All right, so the goal of this video is to teach you guys how to set your CO2 and oxygen tables. And this is one of the bread and butter exercises in terms of improving your CO2 tolerance as well as hypoxic benefits. The hypoxic benefits are going to occur with the O2 tables and the CO2 tolerance with the CO2 tables. However, in my opinion, the O2 tables are the best because you are still going to get some CO2 tolerance benefits. So first, what you're going to do is you're going to click on personal best and you're going to click on set a new record. And just follow essentially what the app tells you. I mean, it'll tell you to take a breather. So, I mean, here I have it set for 1:50. So in this, you're going to want to lay down and make sure you do this on an empty stomach. You don't want to have food in your stomach because the digestion is gonna take away energy and it's gonna lower your breath hold time. And for this, I actually want you to do 2 breath holds. One is gonna be post inhale, and another one is gonna be post exhale. And the reason I say this is because I actually just had a realization with this yesterday. But when you practice hypoxic hypercapnic training with post-exhale, you actually reach hypoxic levels at a much shorter amount of time. And the CO2 levels, they're going to rise. But since it's a short amount of time, it's actually a less stressful exercise. When you do the O2 table and you do it after an inhale, you have a lot of oxygen in your lungs, and it's going to take you much longer to actually get to a hypoxic level. However, your CO2 levels are still going to be rising, and you're going to have to be fighting through all these contractions, and it's just an overall very stressful exercise when you do it post-inhale. However, there are benefits of that because, I mean, of course, CO2 is that stimulus to breathe. So since you're fighting that stimulus to breathe for longer, you are getting that hypercapnic, meaning high CO2 tolerance benefits.
5, 4,
so
3,
yeah, that's the main benefits of it. But yeah, I highly recommend just to practice post-exhale. And you can see this with an oximeter. I mean, if you have the oximeter, you can just see how much faster you reach hypoxic levels. For example, for me, it usually takes me around like 2 minutes to get hypoxic, and which is below 90%. However, when I did it post-exhale, it took me a minute, and I was actually able to get below 80% after a minute. And really, that's where the main benefits occur with this breath work, is where you're going hypoxic. I mean, you need to go hypoxic if you want to get that EPO benefit, if you want to get that spleen contraction benefit, if you want to create that adaptation to create more hemoglobin. All of that occurs when you go hypoxic. So yeah, with all that said, make sure you have 2 breath holds, personal bests, and just note that down. And essentially, you're going to click generate, and you're just going to add your breath hold time into the personal best. And then you're just going to click generate. Right now, the default is 10 breath holds. However, I recommend doing 5. Really, the research shows from the Oxygen Advantage that it just takes 3 to 5 breath holds to create that spleen contraction. 10 is a bit of an overkill. I mean, it's just like if you're a free diver and yes, you're training to like dive to large depths and your life depends on it, then yes, do large amount of breath holds. But really, what we're just trying to get is getting that adaptation response, which happens with 3 to 5. But yeah, so once you generate it, you have you can create your tables. So for example, I have all my tables here. So I have my Oxygen Advantage protocol. I have this old one that I created that I'm trying to update because I'm going to change it to have my post-exhale, which I will do pretty soon. And yeah, so you have your CO2 resistance here. So this is what my table created. I have 8 here for CO2 just because I'm trying to get to a large amount of time just building my CO2 resistance. But yeah, you can see the main differences between oxygen tables and CO2 tables. The CO2 table, the hold is the exact same throughout, but your like recovery is decreasing. So you start at 150 and you keep decreasing. While in an oxygen, like an O2 table, the recovery is the same, but your breath hold increases. And as you can see now, you can see why I mean by making it's really hard if you do it post inhale, because I mean the last breath holds I'm going to 2 minutes 45, 2 minutes 55, and I mean I can do it, but it's stressful. And I mean the more stressful it is, the less you want to do it. I mean your body, I mean you can will yourself through it, but I mean breathing is the most, breath holding I would say is literally the most stressful thing you can do. Which of course has its most benefits because you build stress resilience. But I would say creating the least amount of friction for it is the best thing to do. So like, for example, what I would do for creating my own would be, I would just edit it and I would change it to 5 breath holds. And then for me, I'd start at a minute and increase it by 5 seconds, because post exhale, I mean, really, you'll be surprised. Like, I mean, I did the experiment myself yesterday and I just went hypoxic just so fast. So, and then the rest time, they say 2 minutes. For me, I do 1:15, 1:30. I'd say the shorter, the better, because I mean, we want this to be into our daily lives, and the key is efficiency. That's ultimately always the key.
Breathe.
So yeah, that's it. I hope this helps. Please let me know if you have any more questions. Thank you.